Good morning, third graders. It is Tuesday, May 5th, and we are on lesson 26.5. Our objective for today is to solve problems that have more than one step. We do this almost daily with our word problems. Most of the word problems that we will run into have more than one step, but some of these problems are going to have fractions in them, so we're going to go ahead and review at least one or two problems together. If you look on your homework sheet for today, it says Angie bought a package of colored paper. The package had 8 sheets, each of red, blue, and green paper. Angie used 1/4 of the paper she bought. How many sheets of paper did Angie use? So they tell you the first step is to find the total number of sheets. And one way they did this is by, although she bought 8 sheets, she bought 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 white. So she bought a total of 3 different types of colored paper. So the first step they did was to number the 8 sheets times the different colors, and they got 24. So that's their first step. For step 2, they drew a picture of 1/4 of 24, because this is Angie used 1/4 of 24. So they drew an array. They drew 24 dots in 4 equal groups, so they went across because it's 1/4 they're trying to find, so you have to do 4 equal groups. If it says 1/4, you look at the denominator. So they made 4 different groups, and they found out that there is 6 in each group. So it says 1/4 of 24 is 6. So they were able to do it that way. Another way to do it is if the numerator is 1, you can always say 24 divided by 4. And that would go 6 times, because 6 times 4 is 24, okay? So there's 2 different ways to do this. Now that is if your numerator is 1/4, and I'll show you an example problem of what I mean by that. So the first step is to find out the total number of sheets. 8 times the 3 different colors gave them 24. They made an array of 24. There's 6, 6, 6, and they have 6 up here because that's 1/4 of the 24. Or, like I said, if the numerator is 1, you can take the denominator and divide it by the total number of sheets, which also gives you 6. So if you look at number 1 in your homework page, it says, at the craft fair, Angie arranged origami figures in 5 rows of 6. In each row, sorry. Now she sold 2/3 of the figures at the fair. How many figures did Angie sell at the craft fair? Well, your first step is to take the 5 times the 6 and give yourself 30. And I know this because it says 5 figures, 5 rows of 6 figures. So I'm going to multiply the 5 times 6. Now, because it wants us to find 2/3, that lets me know that I need to make my array in 3 different groups because I have to go by the denominator. If you paid attention to this example problem, it gave you 4 groups because the denominator was 4. So always look to the denominator if you're unsure of how many groups you need to make. So because we need to find 2/3 of the number 30, I broke it down into 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 in each group, 10, 20, 30. So I have my number 30 in my array. I have 30 dots, and I need to find 2/3. Well, if you make an array, it's really easy because I need 2/3. That means I need 2 of the rows out of the 3 rows. So I have 2 out of 3, okay? So 2/3 of 30 would be 10, 20. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is the division method, but it's going to be a little bit different than just the 1/4 on the previous problem because now you have 2 as your numerator. So let me show you what you can do there. Let me just get myself some room. Okay. So now if I was going to divide 3 into 30, that would go 10 times, okay? Because 10 times 3. 3 goes into 3, 1. 3 goes into 0, 0, okay? So 1/3, by dividing 1 time, I get 10. Now, Because I need 2 of those thirds, I'd have to do this 2 times and I'd get 20. Okay? It's a little bit easier to make the array as you saw and just do 2/3. But if you're quick on division and you're like, nope, I know that I have to divide it once and get my answer and multiply it or add it 2 times, you can do it that way too. So there's 2 different ways that you can do it. The array is really easy. You just have to make sure that you're spreading your array out correctly and that you're doing what the denominator says. So if there's 3 rows, 2/3, if your denominator is 3, you need 3 rows. But as you saw in our example problem over here, the denominator was 4, so they had to make 4 different groups, okay? So your answer for number 1, your answer for number 1 should be 20, because 2/3 of 30 is 20, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and you put 20 there. So I'm not going to do number 2 for you. I want you to kind of try to do it on your own, but I will guide you there. Oops. 20 back. It says Thomas bought a package of pencils. There were 5 pencils in each of red, yellow, blue, and green. So that means 4 different colors. He took 1/5 of the pencils to school. How many pencils did he take to school? So your first step would be to multiply, like they did here, the different colors that he had of pencils. And he had 4 different colors. So you're going to multiply your 5 times the 4 different colors. You'd get 20. Now you need to make an array of 20 out of 5 rows because that's the denominator. And then the number that you get in 1 row will be your answer. If you have any questions on this, there's only 2 problems that you need to do. I did the first one for you, and then you have to do the word problems on the back. That will get you a couple more problems that you can practice with. If this concept was a little difficult, please feel free to email your teachers, watch the video again. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.